Good evening, Mason Nation, and welcome to another weekly edition of Mason Cable News, your leader in on-campus news broadcasts. Today is Wednesday, November 19th, and I am Desmond Jordan.
And I'm Aaron Wilson, welcoming you inside our news studio.
So, Aaron, did you get a chance to go to the basketball game?
Yeah, I did actually. That was awesome. My friends and I, we went and stayed for both games, and we watched the women win, and we watched the guys lose. But you know, it's only the beginning of the season.
Right. It's always like next time. So hopefully we get it next time.
Exactly. We'll do good this season. I have full confidence in our team.
Right. Yeah, so this past weekend kicked off the beginning of the 2014-2015 basketball season. To prepare the entire Mason Nation for the event, student government hosted their annual Gold Rush event at the George Mason statue right before the games. There, students witnessed performances from the George Mason drumline, known as the Mean Green, as well as received the traditional Gold Rush t-shirts. This was a perfect event to gather the student section right before heading over to Lot A for Hoopla. At Hoopla, there were prizes, giveaways, spirit stations, everything someone would need for the first game, as the women's basketball team hosted Virginia Tech, and then later the men's team hosted Cornell University. For full results and highlights of the game, make sure to tune in later for the sports report.
As a precursor to the basketball season, Mason Recreation attempted to break a world record in knockout basketball this past Thursday. The record coming into the event was set at 629 by a similar event put on by the Brooklyn Nets in October. Unfortunately, we did not break the record with a little more than 200 participants showing up at the Patriot Center. To help promote the home openers the following night, members of the men's and women's basketball teams, including Patrick Holloway, Christina Hutzel, two-part, as well as the 2006 Final Four legend Lamar Butler. Prizes such as a Nike backpack, a Nike laptop, Nike jacket, and more were given out to the victors.
Sounds like that was a really exciting event to go to. Yeah, I used to play in knockout basketball before, so I can't imagine it with all those people.
Yeah, I know. It would have been nice if we had broken the record, but I understand that a lot of people were probably busy that day. Right. But I would have gone to, actually. I would have loved to have gone, but it totally slipped my mind, actually.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Sub 1, the Great American Smokeout will be hosted by the American Cancer Society in conjunction with Wellness, Alcohol, and Violence Education and Services. The motto for this philanthropic campaign is Be a Quitter. The event is to encourage those who smoke to plan to stop with gradual steps. Thus, a healthier life can be lived and enjoyed. Non-smokers are welcome to come as well as support the cause and effort toward successfully quitting smoking. Quick kits, t-shirts, games, and resources will be available for those in attendance. Ways to encourage the students and the Mason community to come and support the breaking of an unhealthy habit.
This past Saturday, George Mason University hosted the annual Virginia Girls Summit. This event brought together 7th through 12th grade girls from the Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. areas. It was intended to teach girls about resilience, passion, and courage, hoping more girls will rise up, listen to their own inner voice, and begin the journey of fulfilling their life's purpose. This year's summit had a finalist from NBC's The Voice, Matthew Schuler, and Misty Copeland as guest speakers.
I was wondering if it was hard to get back up whenever you were knocked down, whenever they told you no.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it never ends. It's not something that's going to go away, hearing negativity and criticism, and especially when you're a performer and you're put out there and it's a subjective art form and people are going to have so many different views and opinions of who you are and what you do. And even to this day, with all my experiences and even, being a soloist with ABT, I still get extremely negative feedback and criticism from viewers. And it's just about understanding that that's their opinion and accepting that. And that just because they think it or they write it or they say it doesn't mean it's right and doesn't mean everyone else feels that way. So it's just, I think, a matter of learning to sift through the words that you want to hear, and not letting negative words define you or overtake you.
And for more information on the Virginia Girls Summit and information in general for the event in February, please refer to the Facebook or Twitter page.
This past Saturday afternoon, the George Mason Club football team hosted their final regular season game against Coppin State. The winner of this game will go on to play in the National Club Football Association's Mid-Atlantic Conference Championship game. This game featured a rivalry between the two programs that dates back to 2011, where only George Mason and Coppin State have won the Mid-Atlantic Conference Championship since. However, this game, which was broadcasted on Mason Cable Network, showed a Coppin State victory 48-0. With the loss, George Mason finished the season in third place in the Mid-Atlantic with 5-4 overall record and a 2-2 conference record. Conference State, meanwhile, will travel to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore to play in the conference's championship game.
This Friday, November 21st, the Patriot Activities Council, with support from Wellness, Alcohol, and Violence Education and Services, GMU, Fashion Society, and the Paul Mitchell School, is hosting the HIV/AIDS Fashion Show at 8 p.m. at Dewberry Center in the Johnson Center. The event is hosted by Kelly Lemon and Corey Baker and will feature live performances. Many different outfits will also be seen from various designers. And the event itself is designed to provide more information about HIV/AIDS and to help stop it from spreading. The event is free for all Mason students, but be sure to stop by the Office of Student Involvement to pick up a ticket for the event and be entered into a raffle for a prize. For more information, visit pac.gmu.edu.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to this event. I went last year, so it was like great to see like all the fashions they have, and they even have these like dresses and like suits made out of condoms.
Now, what was the most interesting dress or suit that you've seen there, aside from that one?
It was like a red dress last year or something I've seen. So it was like pretty interesting how creative students are here on campus.
Yeah, I really admire the creativity of our people on campus.
Yeah, so this week marks Hunger and Homelessness Action Week, and events have been underway, one of which includes the annual Stop Hunger Now meal packaging volunteer opportunity, where over 200 Mason students helped package 10,000 meals in Dewberry Hall Monday evening. Tonight is the Hunger Banquet in the Hub Ballroom, which will expose the reality of inequalities in the world as it pertains to proper nutrition and access to resources. The Hunger Banquet is an interactive experience that will examine the means of decisions having a broad influence on the world at large. For a listing of the week's remaining events, visit the Center for Advancement of Wellbeing's website, wellbeing.gmu.edu. Hunger and Homelessness Action Week concludes this Sunday.
Now, earlier this month, Student Government President and Vice President Philip Abrascato and Dylan Wickerman sat down with us and Fourth Estate to deliver the first State of the Student Body Address. This address was set to display the task that student government has been undertaking this year and making sure that students' voices are reflected.
My name is Phil Abrascato, and I'm Mason's Student Body President.
And my name is Delon Wickerma, Mason's Student Body Vice President. So we wanted to take the opportunity to speak to you all about how student government has been working this semester to create a better Mason for all students.
George Mason University is currently going through a lot of changes in terms of infrastructure, academics, and vision. We have been working to make sure that student interests are at the forefront and are the first priority as these changes happen. Not just the interest of students that will be attending Mason in the future, but also the interest of students who are attending Mason today.
Student government is broken up into several different departments, working to further enhance the experience of the Mason student in areas such as student services, university life, government and community relations, multicultural and diversity affairs, and academics.
The decisions and actions taken by our organization are governed by a motto: serving you and the needs of the Mason community. A great example of how this was seen in practice earlier this year was when a large number of students came forward to express their opinions on the changes to Mason's dining hour of operations.
Student government took the time to listen to the student voice, gather feedback, and report to administrators on what changes the student body would like to be seen meet.
We invited dining administrators to our monthly What Do You Want Wednesday event on North Plaza and gave the students the opportunity to meet with the administrators face to face. In the end, we were able to come to a consensus and find a resolution based on what the needs and wants of the student body were.
Since the beginning of the semester, we have had members of student government sitting on nearly 40 university-wide committees as a means of accurately expressing the student voice to faculty, staff, and administration.
Earlier this year, the state of Virginia had requested that $4.7 million be returned from the university. Budget working groups were created to develop plans on how to look at ways to increase Mason's budgetary efficiency. We thankfully have student representatives on each of these committees who will be working to make sure that the student voice is appropriately heard.
Other notable topics in this event include details on the Mason Lobbies event this upcoming January, where members of the student government will be traveling down to Richmond to lobby the state legislature. If you would like to see the full address, please log on to Fourth Estate's Facebook and YouTube page.
On November 13th at approximately 10:59 a.m., the George Mason University Police Department was notified by a campus security authority that a female student reported that 3 men attempted to sexually assault her in a hallway outside of Dewberry Hall. during a late-night event on November 8th. An email from the police department of the university was sent out to the student body, informing them of the issues regarding sexual assault, as well as ways to help prevent yourself from being a victim. If you or someone you know is a victim, please contact campus police at 703-993-2810. The email concluded reminding everyone that students, faculty, and staff are encouraged to share this information with other members of the community and are asked to be aware of their surroundings and to report suspicious activity to police.
Now, this upcoming Thanksgiving break, Mason Shuttles will be providing transportation to specific cities this upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday. These locations include New York City, Philadelphia, Richmond, Norfolk, Charlottesville, Dallas Airport, and more. All buses will be leaving campus from Research Hall at a designated time. If you would like to purchase a ticket, please log on to shuttle.gmu.edu/thanksgiving.html and select the appropriate ticket. Depending on the location, tickets cost $10 to $30 for one way. Buses will be providing transportation back on Sunday, but as a reminder, you must purchase a ticket. Again, the website is shuttle.gmu.edu/thanksgiving.html.
As we head into a commercial break, we are going to show you an exclusive clip from the upcoming documentary, 8 Years Past Midnight. The documentary is distributed by the Office of Student Media and Jake McLernan that highlights how the men's basketball 2006 Final Four run may have impacted George Mason University. Expect the full documentary to be released this December.
You know that we're less than a month away from the doubleheader kicking off the basketball season. And next, we got to welcome back to the Patriot Center from the 2006 Final Four team. We have John Vaughn and the most outstanding player in the Washington Regional. Give it up for John Vaughn and Lamar Butler.
Again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I know as a former athlete, student athlete, we never really thank the fans for coming out supporting the team year after year, game after game. So right now, on behalf of not just the current players, but the former players, we want to thank you for your continued support for not only the basketball team, but just all the sports at George Mason. So give yourself a round of applause.
WGMU Radio and WGMUradio.com. Welcome to a special edition of the First Pick. Will read. Jonah, it was a pleasure having you on the show today. Appreciate it. I'm Ben Simpson on the phone today. We have Drew. How are you doing today, Drew? I mean, your baseball. Kind of what made you decide to write a book about them?
You know, it wasn't my...
You're out in Maryland, right?
I am. I used to work with George Mason people that way.
Promote the book as much as possible here around campus.
Thanks, dude.
All right, have a great one. You will read. Jonah, it was a pleasure having you on the show today. Appreciate it. You're listening to WGMU Radio on WGMUradio.com.
Thinking of studying abroad? Consider spending a semester at Mason's new campus in Korea. Enjoy a unique experience where you will be taught by main campus faculty and will learn about one of the most important regions in the world. Students pay the same tuition as they do on main campus, and housing costs significantly less. Join the Office of Global Strategy each Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. in the Johnson Center Gold Room for an information session, or visit masonglobal.gmu.edu to learn.
Welcome back to Mason Cable News on yet another frigid day. In fact, we broke a record this morning for temperature. Dropped down to 13 degrees this morning, broke the original record by 7 degrees. Pretty crazy. Right now, our temperature is about 30 degrees. Tonight, we're looking at a low of 25 degrees, partly cloudy skies. So be prepared for another cold night. Definitely want to layer up. Now we're going to take a look at our Thanksgiving forecast. Another sunny day, 50 degrees, so not as cold as it's been now, but a little bit warmer then, so enjoy your day with your family, your friends, whatever you're going to do for this Thanksgiving, but here in the area it's going to be pretty sunny, so pretty enjoyable Thanksgiving. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. for the week. So right now we're in a bit of a high pressure system right now. Temperatures are pretty cold right now as we're in our high pressure system, but for the weekend we're looking at another warm front, so it's going to get warmer once again, looking at more showers. It'll rain over the weekend, and then for next week it'll start to get cold once again, but sunny skies come back into the area. With your weather, I'm Nick Stasiak. Now we take it over to Sydney with your sports.
Hello and welcome once again to your Mason Sports Report. I am Sydney Peterson, here to give you the latest update. This past Friday, both our women and men's basketball teams had their season openers. The women's team had a historic win against Virginia Tech as they beat them for the first time since the year of 1989. The final score was Mason 77 and Virginia Tech 69. Then the women's team played against Morehead State this past Sunday, but unfortunately fell with a loss of 79-70. But tonight you will have a chance to see the women's team as they will play tonight at 7 p.m. against Delaware State. Unfortunately, our men's basketball team fell against Cornell at their season opener with a final score of 68-60. Junior guard Patrick Holloway finished as the game's leading scorer with a total of 22 points. The men's basketball team had another following game on Sunday against Princeton. There, the team improved as they defeated Princeton with a final score of 63-60. Again, Patrick Holloway once again led the team with a total of 19 points. Next, the men will travel to the 8th annual Puerto Rico tip-off. This will be held November 20th through the 23rd. The Patriots open in San Juan, playing against West Virginia on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. This game will be aired on ESPNU. Our men's soccer team played against Rhode Island this past Friday in the A-10 semifinals, but fell with a final score of 2-1. The Rams scored in the last final minutes of the game. The Patriots closed the season with a record of 11-4-5 and 4-4-3 against Atlantic 10 opponents. Our swim and diving team fell in score with LaSalle this past weekend, but will hopefully have better luck tomorrow as they attend the annual Patriot Invitational, which takes place at George Mason. The women's volleyball team had their final match of the season against Fordham this past Saturday night. The final score had Fordham on top 3-1. The women's volleyball team concluded the season with a record of 6-21 overall and 2-12 in conference play. With basketball starting up this past week, baseball season will be here before we know it. The 2015 George Mason baseball schedule has already been released. The team will open up their season with a game against Ohio State, which is ranked number 10 in the country, on February 13th. For more information or to view the whole schedule, check out www.gomason.com. Well, Mason Nation, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving break. Desmond Jordan and Aaron M. Wilson will be right back after this final commercial.
Thinking of studying abroad? Consider spending a semester at Mason's new campus in Korea. Enjoy a unique experience where you will be taught by main campus faculty and will learn about one of the most important regions in the world. Students pay the same tuition as they do on main campus, and housing costs significantly less. Join the Office of Global Strategy each Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. in the Johnson Center Gold Room for an information session, or visit masonglobal.gmu.edu to learn more.
Hello and welcome back to Mason Cable News with our fan favorite tweets of the day.
And our first tweet from the day is from Mason WBB. Hashtag Patriots take on an opener with a 77-69 win over Virginia Tech. Definition of all in. Hashtag we. It was an interesting one. I think.
It really was. It was great to see people out in the stands supporting Mason Athletics. So, our second tweet of the day is from Angel Cabrera. Where international students go in Virginia. Number 1, Virginia Tech, 3,133. Number 2, George Mason University with 2,383. And lastly, UVA coming in third with 2,354.
That one, awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
We're number 2 in the state. That's really awesome, I would say.
Yeah, appealing to international students from all around the world. So that's really great that they want to come here at Mason.
Talk about diversity.
Yeah.
Now this week, we want you to send us your tweets about Thanksgiving break. Use the hashtag #MyMasonThanksgiving.
Well, that is all we have for you for this edition of Mason Cable News. We hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving break, and a reminder that we will not be having an episode next week. I'm Desmond Jordan.
And I'm Aaron M. Wilson, and again, wishing you a happy and safe Thanksgiving.